Hi, welcome, and thank you so much for being here today. I hope you're having a gorgeous day or night. We're going to get you some clarity, see what's going on in the energy and what messages would be helpful. It's a timeless collective reading, so see which messages feel like they really resonate. You'll know it'll feel like it twinkles, like it's personal. If it makes no sense, it's a message for someone else, or it could be a message for you that makes sense later. Always follow and trust that divine, deep, beautiful connection that you have to your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe, because the answer is always in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition, so your decisions are sound, based in love, and for the highest, greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. We're going to start with the Sacred Traveler. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. Woo! Ooh, guess what it is? It's enthusiasm. Ooh, I'm excited. Literally, when this card flipped, I felt like a switch in my energy, like all of the sudden. So maybe there's something that happens kind of all of the sudden that sort of gets you excited. This could be a surprise. It could also be something that brings transformation because you have the butterflies here. I don't know why I do see hair. Maybe somebody is getting something done with their hair, getting your hair cut, changing the color, something like that. I'm even seeing with this wreath. Maybe there's something that's sort of like a party. It just made me think of Hawaii. Hawaii, maybe somebody's going to Hawaii. I mean, that would be something to get excited about. Yeah. So it's saying that, wow, it's saying that you are so excited. You're going to like shout, kick your heels up and shout, get my arms up and shout. Come on now. Come on now. Don't you want to say you will? It's like you're going to shout to the heavens. So this is something that's going to bring you a lot of joy. Let's see what it is. I am really curious. Let's go nosy and see why you're going to be so happy. Something you didn't expect, or something better than you expected. Maybe you released expectations, and that's when something had, the room to kind of work itself out, to come towards you. I do see a room now. Maybe it has to do with you and somebody, doing something fun in a room. I'm not sure what. Maybe you're even moving. Maybe you're doing something different to. I just see maybe your walls, or maybe it's just arranging your furniture differently. Maybe it's even something you're doing at home that kind of gets the energy flowing different, kind of takes your attention away from whatever you were thinking about that you were hoping would happen. And I kind of feel like it's that you did like a healthy distraction, where you were doing something kind of productive. And I feel like it's also when you forget about something that something amazing comes in. You get a phone call out of nowhere. I am seeing the phone ring. So maybe it's even a text for some of you. This could be you getting that job that you sent out resumes to long ago. I feel like for some of you, you actually get an immediate response though. Because I see somebody talking to somebody else and like the door closing behind you, and you just have that like almost like, wow, did that just happen? kind of thing. So maybe for some of you, it's an amazing date. Maybe for some of you, it's just like a really beautiful ending to a special day. Because I feel like somebody's going to bed still with a smile on their face. So let's see what's going on. They're going to go to the wisdom of the oracle. Embracing enthusiasm. I even see with that enthusiasm, if there's something that you just kind of love, you're working on, you're just talking about something you enjoy, maybe even something that's kind of quirky about you. I feel like your enthusiasm is infectious in the most beautiful, healing way. So you actually talk about something with that, real smile on your face. It like brings a glow to not just like through your eyes, but in your energy. And I feel like that glow is felt admired, and I feel like it even makes somebody in particular or others excited to talk about your thing. So maybe there's some promotion going on here. People are speaking on your behalf because they believe in your authentic truth on whatever this connection is, whether this is talking about a person in your life, a thing that you were doing, something you were into, or an experience that you just had. Let's see. Clarify, embracing enthusiasm. I keep hearing that song now. Ooh, chop wood. That's what I saw. That's what I saw when you were kind of doing something like moving your furniture around, you know, sweeping up the corners in your house. Maybe you do have to clean your house. Maybe you're going to get some unexpected company. Chop wood is just sort of doing what you have to do in the meantime. So it's doing something kind of productive that you feel good about. While something else is kind of orchestrating itself towards you, working itself out. If you don't know what to do with yourself right now, maybe it's even like an antsy kind of energy and like an itchiness is sort of what I see. So if you have, let's say, something, you know, later on this evening or tomorrow that you have to do, and you kind of are so excited you don't even know what to do yourself, you know, you're really excited, when is it gonna happen, what do I do until then? I do feel like you know, give yourself a project. Do something where you're almost like active meditation, you know, maybe just even go on a walk. I do feel like some of you are going to do something in the yard. So maybe even something in the garden. But if you're chopping wood, it's either to clean something up or it's to prepare for maybe a little heat that's going to be happening later on. You know, maybe it got a little cold in a situation. Something's definitely going to warm up, but there's definitely a little preparation before that warming up. It could also be like a spiritual fire. Ooh, thinking. Somebody's thinking about a project, or somebody is thinking about something they're enthusiastic about, or I'm getting that they really want to try. Maybe somebody's been thinking way too long, sitting on that box, sitting on that fence for too long, and I feel like someone just gets this urge like, yeah, been thinking about it too long, time to start the doing, you know, instead of being in the old noggin so much. It could be where somebody is actually coming up with an epiphany and thinking a lot more clearly with that active meditation, or while you're kind of doing something with your hands, with your body, where you feel like proud of what you're working on. Because I get that feeling like you have a messy house. Let's just use this as an example. And then that moment when you like, you sit down and you look at everything all organized and different, and it feels like a whole new vibe, and you're just like, wow, like a neatly made bed. I actually did just see like I just saw like a hotel room. So I just pictured like the really comfy bed, the big pillows, and those blackout curtains. Maybe somebody is thinking at night as well. Maybe you're just an air sign, or someone around you is kind of the logical person, likes to make plans. But I feel like whatever this person is sitting on is either bringing you to a new level, you know, having a solid foundation to build upon, or somebody was sitting on something so long that, I don't know, something was kind of getting stuck in a box. I feel like that box needs to open up in some cases, and in other cases, maybe something needs to, you know, put a lid on it. I am getting moving here with all that. Maybe there's something that has to end. You have to close a chapter so there can be new growth. Let's see, clarify. Let's see, hold on. I don't even know what numbers these are. 42, 44. Clarify, embracing enthusiasm. I keep hearing plans. when I'm looking at this, I feel like somebody's making plans. And I feel like it involves something kind of fun or an experience or a surprise. Let's see. Is there anything else from the wisdom of, ooh, yeah. We got regeneration. I love this particular card because it looks like something that was just kind of like not growing anymore. It looks like a dead tree. It looks like the lava took over the scorched earth. And then look underneath, you see this glow, like the lava coming up, but that lava or whatever that energy is coming from where the roots are. You know, almost like I get the core of the earth, except maybe the earth is hollow. But that like core kind of energy, that root energy is stemming up and putting this glow, this spiritual kind of energy, this energy that's like life force energy back into something you thought was done, and something's going to I'm getting even blossom differently than it was before. Like if this was a normal apple tree before, I feel like, I don't know, it's now bearing a fruit that no one has ever tasted before. I just thought of something really weird. I think it's the first episode of, I don't know if you've ever seen The 100, but that's kind of what I get, where they come back down on Earth and, you know, all of the like flowers and everything has like a, they all kind of glow, like a bioluminescent kind of thing, like a lightning bug's ass. But I feel like it's that kind of glow in the fruit, and the fruit is usually a harvest or nourishment. And then I see flowers, which is a regeneration, a blossoming. It's like coming back to life here. If something was like, you thought it was no moss, you know, a closed book, there's something where this next chapter, if that last chapter was like a snooze fest, the next one's going to be like the adventure of a lifetime. And do pay attention to serendipity, synchronicity, more than a coinky-dink kind of energy. Look at how big that 4-leaf clover is. And even though it's huge, she knows that almost like, boing, you know, like a video game or something, that she can just like bounce up and grasp onto that energy of good luck because it's meant for him or her. And it's not the only one. It's almost like there's one opportunity that's really, really special. A little bit bigger and different, more vibrant. Maybe it's a little hard to reach, but it's having that enthusiasm to get up and reach that goal or that wish. But I feel like because of that initial, I hear launch, maybe you're launching something, that all of these other wishes, all of these other opportunities are like a lucky charm just opening up around you. I feel like for some of you, somebody, if not now, they will kind of feel like just knowing you has brought more blessings in their life. Maybe it's because of the conversations that you have. Maybe it's because of your positive outlook on something, or this transformative energy that you embrace instead of getting, you know, stuck in the sticky lava over here. You see, oh, it's lava. I guess I'm going to have to bloom with some spiritual light from that situation. I feel like that is helping others, maybe one person in particular, but I see more than that, actually tap into their own inner power or start to vibrate in a different way where they see more opportunities than shut doors. They even look at a shut door as an opportunity. It's like just the things were always there, you know, the doors were always possibly open or maybe closing, but it's how you navigate in that situation that's changed. It's like the rules have changed somehow. I get like the same, I don't know why I see the game of life. That was such a weird, it's like an old game. It's like the game board kind of looks the same, but you got the secret rule book. You know, when you play a video game, I haven't played really since the original Nintendo. I had like PlayStation for a little bit, but I never really got into it. When you get like, I think it's called like the Easter egg. You know, when Mario goes down the secret door and you pop up 10 worlds later, it's kind of like that. You know, the game is the same, but the way you get to navigate through it has changed a lot. It's like you got some secret clues here on how to do something different. I also feel like somebody feels like you're their beautiful mystery. I don't know why I just thought of Sarah McLachlan. You come out of night, that's when the energy comes and the dark side's light and the vampires roam. You stretch your astro wear. Maybe you got some space pants. Hey, are those space pants that you're wearing? Because your ass is out of this world. It's like the worst pickup line ever. Maybe somebody's ready to pick you up. Maybe they have some corny line, but it kind of gets you. I don't know how Sarah McLachlan got me to that. So maybe, yeah, maybe somebody's coming to pick you up, take you somewhere, go on a road trip. Let's see. Let's dive on into something else. Let's do one, maybe one, because I'm staring at it right here. Let's do one mystery message. I did just say something about a mystery. So UltraVioletDove's mystery oracle. I kind of feel like I want to do it like this today though. So let's do that. Let's get one from here because it's huge. What is a mystery message? Please and thank you. Let them go. I like that. That's so strong. If there's anything that you're holding on to and it's, you know, it's creating that boots in the mud instead of that bounce in your step, then it's time to let someone go. If something is out of your control, just take that control back into what makes you happy, how you are transforming. If you feel like something's not really glowing yet, then maybe it's just chopping some wood, doing the dishes, do the laundry. I feel like something is going to be adjusted in the old thought process. And I feel like if there was somebody out there in your energy somewhere that wasn't letting someone or something go, there is something bigger coming through to, I see like chains breaking or adjust something or somebody getting a little more flexible. I feel like if somebody was holding something, they actually started to go numb or they got so tense, they didn't have any feeling anymore. And I feel like somebody wants to, you know, when you sit on your foot and then you get that like pins and needles really uncomfortable and then you actually kind of walk on the ground and you can't even feel the ground and you kind of fall over. I'm getting that. Somebody like couldn't hold on, you know, maybe releasing some control, but then they had that numbing point and then they had the weird where the blood, where's your thing, where the blood like kind of trickles back into, you know, your leg or your arm or whatever it is. And it's like, ooh, 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 ooh. And then it starts to feel better. And then you feel grounded again. And then there's like a strength and a movement. Like I see somebody like breaking in shoes. So maybe it's new territory for someone to release control. If you are holding on to anyone that was in a weird vibration and insisting that you stay the caterpillar, then maybe you're letting somebody go that was holding back your I hear transfiguration actually. I wanted to say evolution. I hear like transfiguration or transformation, maybe reinvention in that new exciting chapter you're going to. So let's just pull like another clump and get one more. I feel like also it's when you let something go, pay attention to the signs, you know, trust in the synchronistic moments and signals for you that you allow spirit and the universe, God, your angels, your spirit guides, your vibrations and energies to orchestrate something that's out there that you sometimes really shouldn't be involved with until you get the big phone call or the open door. It's like God's baking you a big cake, but it's supposed to be a surprise. So shoo along, go do something, and don't, be all nosy in the kitchen. I'm getting that, like they were like, shoo, you're gonna ruin the surprise. Go, we don't know what you're talking about over here. Go do something, go chop wood. One more. It's the same message. Oh, I like that I pulled these because I like when, everything is happy and beautiful and positive, but life goes all over the place. And I like when there's that extra message to say, yeah, you got a lot of stuff over here. You're going to be working over here. Going to be a lot of changes over here, changing your thought process or your mindset, or maybe it's time to start thinking more clearly or more logical about something. And what needs to be let go of? What strings need to be severed that were causing stagnation or tying you down? What no longer is of your highest and greatest good in your life? What feels like it is draining or brings you anxiety or is overwhelming or feels like a constant problem, but there's never that solution? Maybe the solution is moving away from the problem or the chaos or the drama or the mismatch or whatever that is. Because when you got that spiritual regeneration going on, it probably means that there is something from that last chapter that you're not going to groove with anymore. It's going to kind of be a mismatch. It's not going to be the right fit anymore. So you have to vibrationally buy yourself something new to wear that you feel good in. And that could be a new situation. That could be taking yourself to a new environment. That could be signing up for a class or going back to school or just starting a project that you've always, I just heard admired. So maybe you saw something that was kind of like a project somebody else did and you kind of admired them. Because I do feel like you're, I don't see like a mold. But I feel like it's more like a muse kind of energy, like somebody inspired you to kind of do something similar, but not the same. Because I feel like whatever you're doing, you saw that somebody did something kind of cool, but you were like, thinking like, how could I kind of, go after that model, but do it a little different because you saw it could be done a different way. I don't know what that is. That could even be a partnership for some of you. Maybe you model a new partnership off of what you've learned from an old one. What you learned worked and how you grew and changed because of something. Because when you go into a new partnership, you are now a new person with another person in a new vibration, and you don't bring the shit that didn't work from the last partnership with you. You learn from it, so it's different now and in the future. But you have to be flexible with those rules and think differently, because maybe somebody else's situation or what works for them might be really different than you've ever experienced before. Hopefully that made sense. I feel like there's a lot of energy today. So let's go to the tarot. Let's do this one. Let's go with the one I have right in front of me, which is the Star-Kissed Tarot. So let's ask about why you're getting the let them go and cut the strings. This always gives me like Abraham Lincoln / Edward Scissorhands vibes. Cut the strings. Something was in a knot. Like all tangled. So if there was any kind of mess, you have to untangle yourself from anything that is kind of messy. Clean something up. Because there's something going on under the surface that, or behind a closed door that really wants to come in. But I feel like there's something you have to prepare for before this can come. Because I feel like whatever's coming in, you want to be all in. not like half 1 foot in a messy room. Let's see, what would be helpful on cut the strings and let them go? Why is that coming in? Tell us about cutting the strings, please. Page of Swords. We're going to come up with a solution. You do have a thinker here. Maybe you had to observe something for a little while. Maybe you even had to observe something and then take yourself out of a situation so you observe that situation from a different perspective instead of something swirling around you in chaos for some of you. The Page of Swords can be kind of a nosy pants, but it's usually somebody very smart and intelligent. They are kind of watching and waiting for the right opportunity to talk, to come through, to have that conversation, to send a message. They're curious. I feel like they do ask a lot of questions, but it looks like this little Page of Swords or this message coming through might be what really gets you thinking. And it's not just thinking about something all logical here, like the box or, you know, like left brain. Look at all that creativity there. You're using both sides of your brain. You got all the facts and the figures and the numbers and the logics and the, you know, the plans and the configurations here. But then look, you're like, ooh, paint, purple, put that over there, make it all work. And there's some reason that the solution is not just, you know, being scatterbrained and all over and messy, but there's something about the beautiful structure in the chaos. I hope that made sense. You have to like blend both. This can be music as well. This could also have something to do with, I know it's weird, but smell. There could be something that triggers a memory via smell. I also feel like some of you could be multitasking, like doing a lot of different things in your life, or you're going to have to multitask. So maybe if you're multitasking, maybe you do a to-do list today. I have to at least get this, this, and this done, and all this extra stuff. If it happens, it happens. Or you leave a whole space of time, you know, in your day for whatever happens, happens. But there's like something you have to be responsible with and check off. And then you have to have that kind of let it go, be spontaneous energy on the other side. It does say it's strategic solutions. What is it up to? It's disconnected information. It's kind of the know-it-all nosy pants that knows nothing upside down. Upside down, it's somebody who watches and then chimes on in. Like, it's like they hear somebody else have a conversation and then they regurgitate what they think they heard or how they think something went. Sometimes it is like gossipy, you know, down. You're like, oh, well, I just, you know, this amazing thing. And they're just regurgitating like a little bit of a conversation that they heard someone else and never actually dove into the true knowledge or the depth of something. You know, somebody that reads the Cliff Notes and then tries to, you know, go in the, like the college exam and, I don't know why I see somebody writing, like I hear a 25-page paper. Maybe somebody's 25 years old. That was weird. It's like, you know, try to write a paper off of the 4 pages of Cliff Notes that they kind of read. I feel like if there's anyone that just read the Cliff Notes, maybe that's where these strings are, or maybe that's the person somebody's letting go of. That would be really annoying to be around somebody who always has to be right or always like talks about everyone else's business. That keeps happening. We're just going to go with it. And they're not like tapping into their own potential. They're like holding on to the coattails of other people's potential instead of seeing how much they could achieve on their own. Let's see. Why is the Page of Swords here? It could be a Gemini. That little kid is so cute. Gemini. Also, he has Velcro shoes. He doesn't even have to tie his shoes. He just like puts the Velcro on. Maybe Velcro shoes are important. I just thought of those shoes that kids have that light up. I wish that they had those when I was little. Tell us about the Page of Swords. Why is the Page of Swords here? Oh, you're getting a message. You got another page. Look at all of his potential. You're definitely starting something. Cut the strings. You're going to start something all over, and this new chapter is going to be so different. You know, maybe you do have to like clean up something in that tweener process, but it's like, you know, look at this serendipity. You're like jumping up to get that 4-leaf clover, and here you're just thinking, you're like, oh, I have all these plans I could do, and I've seen this done a different way, but I could do it, you know, kind of my style. But how do you even start? How do you begin? And he's like, well, I got my little sword here. So maybe it starts with asking some questions. Maybe it starts with thinking about my situation differently. Maybe it starts with having a conversation that is navigated via truth. Maybe it's expanding what you think you know and recognizing you don't know what you don't know what you don't know. So it's always good to learn more. The process of learning and growth should never end. The Page of Coins is now a tangible offer. You know, now that after that thinking that's happened over here, somebody recognized, okay, well, maybe all I need is a suit and to actually make it to one of those hot air balloons to see something in a different perspective. They packed all they need in that little suitcase, and they have that little pentacle of potential with them. That seed maybe needs to be planted in that field where there's nothing growing there yet. Maybe this person got to see something through the elevated perspective, recognize there's a whole open field there, and maybe like Johnny Appleseed, all it takes is one seed to maybe create a plant that makes more seeds that could possibly be a forest. But it has to be effort put in. This is usually, I said something about the video games before. This is usually the energy. It doesn't matter the age, but it's someone that doesn't want to just see something demonstrated to learn it. They need to hold the remote control and do it themselves. It's like, okay, we'll see the rules. I'll let you watch like One World and then just give it to me. Give me the controller already and I'll figure it out. It's somebody that wants to put some physical effort into the experiences for that learning to occur. Recognized opportunity. I would say that's an opportunity. And here it's disconnected goals. So it's where somebody is trying to, it's where somebody's trying to accomplish something, but they're not in it. So when they're in the work, they're not really there. They're always thinking about that dream that they're not actually doing. They're not ever feeling like they're regenerating their energy. They're just complacent and running on empty. Kind of only half in a situation, whatever that is, whether that's a project they're working on, an environment they're in, a work environment, a partnership, or something that they're doing like for themselves. It's like they're doing something for themselves, but maybe for others and not really for themselves. I hope that made sense. But pages are usually messages. It's communication. It can be a beginning or a smaller energy. And it looks like after some communication or thoughts, you're getting way back into balance between the head and the heart and getting ready to take a leap of faith into that new world, into your new chapter. You have to let the old chapter go in order to have this brand new adventure here. I am seeing it like a different earth. I keep seeing just that beginning episode of the 100. It's like they were stuck in outer space for like hundreds of years. They had no idea what was happening down there on Earth. And it took, you know, these ballsy teenagers, even though it wasn't real interesting because it wasn't really their choice. And yet it was chosen by the adults for the, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it was chosen for them to go to Earth because anyone on the spaceship was going to die anyway. They only had so much air. So they might go to Earth. It might be inhabitable, but there's at least a chance that it wasn't. And giving them that chance to go see could possibly save everyone, but at least save them. And if it didn't, you know, they weren't going to last on that spaceship anyway. So there's something about, but it was like breathable down there. we're not going to get in the whole thing because it gets complicated, but it's more like they had to be really ballsy. So there's something about being ballsy here. I'm getting somebody that was like kind of nervous to do something, and I'm just getting like grab the bull by the horns and do it already. And I feel like that spaceship or the adults I'm getting as almost like a spiritual, like, you know, like, I don't know why I want to say godfather or godmother, but like, you know, a spiritual energy divinely actually knowing that you're ballsy enough and strong enough to handle a situation and taking you out of, you know, a situation that wasn't really working anymore. It's like you were going through the same chapter over and over. They knew that you would feel a little new at something and you might have to definitely start over, but look at how you feel when you're standing there on the top of the mountain. It's like you're touching the sky. I just thought of Kiss the Sky. It's like Sean Lee's Ping Pong Orchestra. Enough to feel the sky. That's it's a hard song to sing. It's kind of weird. It's beautiful. Fearless beginnings. You know, you're kicking fear to the curb here. Even the ground there, it looks like the same ground. Just the synchronicity in this card. You know, it's like that. Sometimes there has to be destruction for there to be new creation. And it's like this new creation here is you thriving. It feels like life. Upside down, it's fearful beginnings. It's afraid to you're not going to be able to do it. It's getting in your head and never stepping through that door. It's knowing there's something ahead, but you don't want to clean up the mess. It'll take too long to clean up that situation. You'd rather just sit in the pile of junk. Justice is strong. It could be a Libra energy. Justice feels weird before it's decided, because justice is where it has to be a big decision. You know, there's something that's unfair going on, and until every aspect or facet is looked at to see what would be the most fair, then all of a sudden something feels more balanced, because it's where before it was always like, you know, putting on everyone's opinions or love or happiness over here, and then yours is over here, and or yours feels really heavy here. There's always like that imbalance where it's like you're walking with, you know, the heel, one stiletto and a cowboy boot. Eventually, you know, your knee's going to give out. So there's something where I did see somebody breaking in shoes. It's like somebody gave you like, you know, the Crocs. All of a sudden you're like, oh, it's like walking on pillows. Oh, it's like I'm walking on clouds. Is this the way it's supposed to feel when you walk? Yes, when things are in balance. It could also be where you have help with the justice system. This could be signing some contracts, you know, any kind of documents or something where it's contractual. It's a fair judgment, though. It happens with that sort of truth. Sometimes there is this blinding situation, but you have to go by the other senses, how you actually logically see a situation in reality, but then you have to also tap into that heart side as well. Here it's unfair biased. Somebody's only seeing their side of the story and not the other side. Somebody is only in their own head and not seeing something through another more elevated perspective. Let's get you a message from the universe. Let's see what the universe has to say. If some of you have something like, I don't know, I see somebody actually on like jury duty or something like that. I feel like for some reason you're going to be the one to see something right away, like the truth, by firing up, you know, both hemispheres of your brain. I also feel like you're seeing something through both strength and compassion. I don't think all of you are going to jury duty, but if you are doing something where maybe there's a mediator or a lawyer or judgment of some kind, something like that. It could even be like a teacher, a board, you know, board of directors or something like that. I do feel like you're going to have fair people making a decision. I kind of feel, I see that person leaving the room and being really, really happy. So I feel like maybe if some of you are overthinking on how something will turn out, I don't know. I feel like you should just know that it's going to turn out okay. You have all this, like, it's like the answer will come, the right help will come right when you need it. And I keep seeing this just like fresh beginning that you get to have. Don't get lost in worry land. Let's see what the universe has to say. Ooh, you got 2. All right. This is what the universe wants you to know. Well, yeah, we know this. Opportunities will soon. I want to do the shave and haircut. Oh, should I get my maracas? I'm such a dork. Like, I want to do like, who's there? Opportunities will soon knock on your door. Debt will be wiped clean and your bills will be paid in full. Your finances are about to change. That's a really nice message. I mean, that would be a reason to shout to the heavens with some happiness. And that could just be somebody that has some wise advice. It could be an investment that just comes through. It could be an inheritance out of nowhere. It could be the right job to, you know, really start to solidify some abundance in your life. Or it could just be you really, you know, either changing your environment or energetically being in a new vibrancy. Actually, like an energetic new environment. So everything around you or that comes towards you is just different. What is this? Sometimes it's the same message. Wait, where are you? Where are you? Let them go. Cut the strings. And sometimes holding on does more damage than letting go. Especially if it's unhealthy. Especially if it's some kind of situation where somebody is being enabled to not be able to do something on their own. So leave behind everything. Where's your weight? Your justice. That's what I saw. Leave behind all that has been weighing you down for so long and reach for the opportunities. Where's your, yeah, that's like wait. Reach for the opportunities that are waiting for you. They're waiting for you, but you have to, you know, cut some strings, be in the in-between, start to see things and think things differently, get to work and put some effort in and head towards where all of a sudden, like magic, how are all these doors open? How are all of these opportunities being presented to you? I will promise you, you will not regret it. With this, I bid you adieu. I hope this reading was helpful. I gotta skedaddle. I love you so much, and I'll see you soon. Mwah. Bye.